Listen, when God puts something on your heart, you do it, because there's really no way of getting around it. And I wanted to make sure like situations were, I don't know, like were fair, and more information comes out of this, because I was very, very neutral when this situation happened with Meg and Tory. I was very, very, very neutral, but it was actually to a point where I was just like, okay, you know, I am definitely all for protecting the Black woman. Of course, obviously, I'm a Black woman, and just making sure, you know, this doesn't happen again. You know, what can we do as fans if this, you know, happens again? We don't want our Black men, you know, pew-pewing, you know, our Black, you know, celebs. Like, we just, that's, no. However, as you know, if you have been following the news outlets and the blogs, then you know that there has been, I would say, irrefutable evidence that has came out that makes Tory innocent. And like I said, I did not want to talk about this like right away, but something in my heart, and other than God putting it on my heart, it was like, you have a responsibility. And I feel like we all kind of have a responsibility if we are in certain circles and certain communities, which I am. I am in the anime community. I am in cosplay community. And just recently, obviously, if you don't know, if you're not in these communities, she just recently went to DreamCon and was a guest, and she spoke about how she has an anime coming out, and she dressed as a character from Bleach. And while she looked fantabulous, she did look good. However, I want to pause right there, Meg. Just pause right there. I am in this space, and honestly, you can call me a gatekeeper. You can call me whatever name in the book you want to call me, but maybe a child of God, probably. Honestly, I think she's a poser. And I think she is extremely smart. And she has an extremely smart publicist team behind her that panders to this also gullible community. And I'm included in that. I am definitely included in that. However, I am a little bit older than, you know, the fans that really don't really understand what's really going on and what she really did, and how she just really committed perjury. It's committing perjury. And I didn't know how deep the rabbit hole really went. Yeah. This rabbit hole goes so far down. It's despicable. It's disgusting, and I feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone. Like, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone, y'all. Like, how can y'all just be like this when she literally just lied? Like, who is giving her? What fans is giving this guy money that stabbed Tory? I'm sorry. Let me back up. We will get to that. However, so she's entering in spaces where I feel like their minds haven't fused together yet. Yes, that's when you're at least 27 and above, and they're very young, they're very vulnerable, and this space is already very inclusive inside a subculture type of culture in general. However, I feel like someone like that should not be Meg, and I'm speaking of the way she carries herself. I am speaking in the light of the recent situations that have been uncovered within the last, they call it 36 hours. And if you haven't took a look at that website, please take a look. It definitely exonerates Tory Lanez from shooting her. And she basically says she didn't get shot herself. So that's coming from the horse's mouth. Yeah, that was a good one. It's really like I am kind of at a moment where I feel like what is really going on, what is really the plan, and for her to just congregate over into this space so quickly, and everybody want to say, oh, Meg was an enemy fan before, Meg did this, Meg did that. I can distinctively remember her coming out as big old freak, and doing other things besides being an anime trope. A person that watches anime, a person that dressed in, I'm not going to say that because I love kawaii and I don't dress in kawaii. However, there is a certain type of person that is in this community, and you can tell. And while she may say that she is in this community, or she loves this community, or she watches anime, or she watches that, while she may say that, her actions when she first came on scene, and just from before when she was underground, she didn't display any of these tropey type of quirks that myself has, and my friends and my gaming friends, my cosplay friends. She didn't display any type of that. And you might say, well, some people don't do that, but it's just always something. It's just always something about a person that okay, yeah, they've been a geek all their life, they've been a nerd all their life, they've been in a sector all their life. You can just tell there are just certain tropes and certain characteristics and certain quirks about a person. And yes, I just don't think she's that. So I do think that her team, when this situation happened, her team realized who her target audience is becoming. Her target audience wasn't the anime and the cosplay community. It wasn't that at all. Let's take a look at Doja, and let's take a look at Megan Thee Stallion. Doja is very weird. She's extremely awkward. She has plenty of songs where she's talking about playing Nintendo, watching anime. She is an actual geek. She's an actual nerd. You can literally tell. Now, when you go to Meg Thee Stallion, it's a very extremely sexual, almost like a succubus type of spirit, and that's another thing that hopefully we can touch on in this video. But it's such a very sexualized, gimmicky, almost performative act that she is portraying and giving out to this audience. And like I said, this audience can be like very gullible at times and very, innocent. And they just want, I'm going to say maybe this is like their version or their generation of Nicki Minaj. We grew up on Nicki Minaj, and obviously, let's come on now, she definitely is, portraying some attributes of Nicki. And you might say, oh, Barbie, you're just a barb. It's in your name. You're just a barb. However, honestly, if Nicki was on the same tip, if she was on the other side of the situation, just like Meg, if the same situation happened, I would be like, hold up, Onika. You straight up lying. Come on now. You know better than that. You know better than that. Don't play me. And I definitely will look at her in a different light. Because lying on a man, and let's lie on a black man, and then pretending and like really believing your lies. And that's the mental illness part of it. Really believing your lies. That the guy that you said that you weren't, having relations with, and you were on live national TV, lying on a black man and continuing this lie. And I know she has to, because it's out now, right? And just believe in it. And you know what? She might not even believe it. She knows the truth, but it's like, how destroying his life that's worth, what's happening to you. Is that really worth it? And like I said, the rabbit hole, guys, the rabbit hole goes so far down, and I didn't even realize it. The people that are behind her, one being Desiree. She is a former FBI. No, she's a former informant. She's a former informant that helped the CIA take down the cartel, guys. She is the CEO of Roc Nation, and she helped take down the cartel. The cartel. Let me say it again, y'all. She helped take down the cartel. That's the type of machine that is behind Meg. And like I said before, I don't know if Jay-Z is running things or if Desiree is running things. Because when you have a powerful woman like that, and you a street guy, like Jay-Z a street guy, like what connects? He might have like street connects and obviously a little maybe political corrects, but he never helped take down the CIA. I mean the cartel. Guys, like that's a powerful machine to have behind you. And I see why a lot of people do not want to go up against this type of machine. They are already suing or in process of suing small content creators that even talk about this issue. And it's look, I'm gonna say whatever I want to say on my platform. They are copywriting people, small content creators, for talking about what's going on with Desiree and her daughter, the woman that helped take down the cartel, guys. She has connects beyond. Once you are in that, you are in that for life, guys. It's no helping the CIA do this and then getting out of it. No, you have connections for life. You have money, power, and respect. That's all I need in life. Money, power, and respect. That's what she has. So I can understand why Tory has such a big fight ahead of himself. He really didn't stand a chance of winning this first round. Like they say, you may win a battle, but I'm going to win this war. And I am hoping that is the case for Tory Lanez. So now let's get into her being in this this realm that I'm in, and that a lot of my friends are in. So the anime community and the cosplay community, I feel like this is going to divide a lot of us. Well, we're already kind of like divided amongst certain things, but that's like just like anime talk and gaming talk. This has really kind of put a division with anime fans and cosplay fans, because you do have one side of the fence that absolutely loves Meg the Stallion, and a lot of women look up to her. And then you have one side, is like, hold up, what is really the truth? What is really going on with you in a situation? Because guys, it's like, and it's like, I almost feel kind of like sorry for the community, because do you guys really understand what really happened? Like, a human being, Tory, almost really lost his life. And well, not only that, he's not even supposed to be in there. And you're probably saying, well, he should have just, tell the truth, understand, da 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 da. I believe that he thought he was going to get found not guilty. There are a lot of things that transpired during the the court hearings, and then testifying. The witness that they seen or the witness that seen Meg's friend pew pew or tried to shoot at her. He said that in the beginning, he said that it's on the police on the police video, but during court when he was supposed to be testifying, it was very blurry. Like, he didn't really want to say it. He did want to say it, but he didn't really say it. He was acting like he forgot or whatever. And then they took that witness. Meg's lawyers took that witness upstairs. They had a conversation, and he came back down, and he just seemed like he was a different person. Like, he did not seem like he remembered anything. It was like inconclusive. Like, he just, like, his brain just like didn't remember anything. So, and this is from Tory's father, and it's in 36hours.com. Go on there and look at all the evidence that they have, and which proves Tory Lanez's innocence, guys. So let me bring you back to the community here. So, like I said, I think the community needs to kind of get a grasp on what's really going on. And I was like, what kind of twerking hypnosis that Meg the Stallion has on the cosplay community and the anime community? Because every time something comes out with this case, she goes and starts twerking and her hair gets bigger. Like, just pay attention, guys. She starts twerking up a storm, and that's another thing. That is another thing. So when I told you guys, they're trying to send out copyright strikes for people who actually for content creators they're actually are talking about this situation. We're getting pictures in certain videos and things like that. And they are copywriting this. So, we would get a copyright strike if we even mention this situation. And I feel like not only is that it's just, I'm gonna say the new word, just the word diabolical. That's the word of the year in our community. Diabolical. It's just plain evil. It is. This is some evil movement, guys. This is some evil movement. You know how the superhero, in your favorite superhero movie, they fight the villain, and save the free world. Tory has a long fight to go, and this is not that. Like, I really feel like in this life, in this reality, he might not win. He might not win up against this big machine unless there at least maybe half the world has to be on his side. This is a huge machine to go up against. This is a huge fight that he has. So, like, in real life, in reality, sometimes the villain do have the upper hand. Sometimes the villain does win. And I hate to say that, but in reality, that happens. They win for a moment. They have their moment. But I really fear for his life, even if he does get out early. I fear that they want to do something very terrible to him. And I pray to God, like, I prayed about this situation, because we're always separations from people. 6 separations, rather 9 separations. But And I'm a child of God. I was raised that way. So when God put something on my heart to talk about and to spread the word, and especially when it cannot get out of my mind, out of my heart, that means I am supposed to vocalize and help spread this nonsense and help wherever I can, help and grab a piece of that pie. Let me be, that change, or at least a piece of that change, right? So, like I said, I'm in the community, and I just feel like there is something deeper. It's a deeper issue where I feel like there's so many women, and Black women. It's quite embarrassing, actually. There's so many Black women that believe and that look up to Meg, and they're not even paying attention to the facts. It's not about liking this person, disliking this person. It's about what the truth really is. Why did you lie? And what type of evil is this? Honestly, because I don't want that. I don't want that around me. If that's a type of person that you are, I don't want you around me at all. So, like, I really just want, let me turn this up. I really just want, it's like my anime babies, my anime cosplay babies, like the 20-year-olds, the young 20-year-olds, the 19-year-olds, to just, it's so, I feel sorry for the babies. I really do, because having someone that you really look up to you deceive an entire nation, an entire community, and try to, want to come into this, like, she's entering this community. She's here, she's there. So what else will she lie about? What else will she get away about? Like I said, guys, I don't know what type of twerking hypnosis she has, but I do notice the older you are in this community, they tend to think more on this situation than just believing a certain someone about something, that situation. And I just hope and pray that this kind of comes full circle. And another thing I wanted to talk about with the small content creators with this situation is really serious, because I was looking one day and they had a lot of articles about, the Tory and the Megan situation, and is she going to jail? Is she, should she go to jail for lying? Because this is perjury, and yes, she should. So they had a lot of articles about that. Now, I do feel like they are also scrubbing the internet, and they can do that. They are hiring hackers. They are hiring people that scrub the internet, and all you see is good things about Megan Thee Stallion. Now, all you see is her swimwear line. You see what is she doing now. You see absolutely nothing. Maybe you might see one or two things about her and Tory Lanez, or is she going to jail? The headline would say that, or she lied. She says she did not get shot. You might see one or two articles when you Google that, but none about the situation. And that's really interesting to me, because when it's something that's trending so much, especially on X, Twitter, there will still be headlines. There will still be headlines of that, especially when you Google that. And so I do feel like, since they have the power to cease and desist certain content creators and YouTubers, they have the power to do that. So I feel like that is another abuse of power, and that really should not be in hip-hop. That really should not be in hip-hop. And like I said, yeah, I might love Nicki Minaj too, guys, but if she was on the exact same tip, I would not be a fan anymore. I would not be a fan anymore. And I was a fan of Megan until this really came out. Like, I I don't really, her music is, that's another thing. Why you lying on Tory, you need to kind of make some hits, girl. Just, you've been falling off a little bit. But, however, I will be the same way. Nicki is not exempt. Nicki Minaj, like, I love you, girl, but she's not exempt from me having common sense and me paying attention to facts and me like, man, that's wrong. You lied on a brother that almost lost his life. And before, like, I forget, one more thing. To the black women that was giving money to the man that stabbed Tory Lanez, shame on you. And if you are in the cosplay community or the anime community, shame on you twice. No, 3 times, honestly. Shame on you, because the hypocrisy of it. If you did not know who you was giving money to, you was giving money to I can't say that. He SA'd a minor that was his girlfriend and killed her. Slayed her. And he unalived her. And you sick bitches. I'm sorry, but that's what you are. And you hating a man so much that did not do anything. How dare you? You do not deserve. You don't even deserve to be in this community. So that's what's going on here. This is like a movie, guys. This is like straight up like a movie. This would be a good movie. This would be a good Lifetime movie, because y'all know I love my Lifetime movies. I love it. This is such a good Lifetime movie. And what we gonna call it? We gonna call it Sightings Bigfoot, or no? I'm kidding. However, like, y'all, I feel like I'm in a twilight zone, because people are still celebrating her, and people are still going to be her fans, and that just means that people just already made up their minds about her and Tory. It's either Tory or Megan, and that's okay. That's really okay. No, it's not. Because when someone almost loses their life, it's not okay. And when someone not only almost loses their life, but loses their life for trying to protect you, and didn't know he was going to go to jail and just almost lost his life and don't really belong in there, that's wrong. That is really, really wrong. And I just hope more people will come and just see that. Like, I don't think Megan should be bullied or anything like that, but I do think there should be some accountability from this black woman, and that's a whole other video, how black women just do not take accountability. I'm just hitting on so many points in this video. I'm sorry, but that's another thing. Like, I'm starting to understand, black men, I'm just gonna say it, like, black women, we do not take accountability, especially when it's important, especially when it's to save someone else or to just save our own face. It's okay to be vulnerable. Like, it's okay to be wrong. It really is. And I just feel like we might never get an apology from her, and I really don't think she is going to be held accountable. However, I am praying that justice will be served. And like I said, I'm a child of God, and we got a long fight to go. We definitely have a long fight to go. I just don't believe that this should have never happened. This case should have been thrown out because of reasonable doubt. And like I said, for the black women that was giving that was given to money to his name is Centennial Cassio, I believe, the guy that stabbed Tory, for the black women that was giving money to his GoFundMe, his put money on his books. You basically funded a rapist, an abuser. You basically, funded somebody that really that you were kind of what you're mad about. Let's basically say that. The hypocrisy of it. Like I said, the hypocrisy, guys, it doesn't make any sense. It's really scary too, how they're just trying to cease and desist people. But I'm going to talk on my platform. I want to speak the truth, and I'm going to do what's right. Because I do know, and I do see a lot of people in the cosplay community, if you go against a black woman that said she got abused by a black man, or she did this, we're believing the victim first. We're believing the victim first. I am that. However, when there is irrefutable evidence that comes out and saying that, okay, you literally lied. You literally lied. It's like irrefutable evidence that he really did not shoot her, and his DNA wasn't even on the gun, guys. That means if it said a 0.1, so his father said that means out of there's 8+ billion people on this earth, so out of like 1 billion people, he still would not be the shooter. That is something that is appalling. That is something that is appalling, and it's just wrong. And I do understand that people are just going to believe Megan because she's Megan Thee Stallion, and she's just who she is, and they like her character, and they just like who she is. And that's, we can't really do anything about that. However, I do believe justice will be served, because like I said, I'm a child of God, and I believe in hope, and I believe in redemption. I really do. I don't know. This is such a bad look for black women. It just really is. And I see that. It's such a bad look, guys. And it's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. And it's scary too. Like I said, it's scary because when you have that type of power behind you, you have that machine, you wonder, is Meg Thee Stallion really doing this for her own success, and she really wants this? And part of her probably does want the success, and she loves the fame that's coming with it, obviously. But to commit such crimes, like perjury, lying, being not such a good friend to Kelsey, because that supposedly was her man first, correct me if I'm wrong or whatever, and just not being an overall good person in this situation, and going on here just blatantly lying to blow up in this music industry. It's not right. It's not right. And hopefully Tory will be redeemed and set free. So I'm just going to leave you with this video that I took it off Twitter. So he does have people he's starting to have a little bit more powerful people behind him to help look into this case and hopefully get him pardoned, set free. And honestly, when that happens, I don't know, I wouldn't even come back over here. I would just stay in Canada, Tory, release your music there. You have tons of fans that actually still listen to your music, and just don't even go back over here, because no. But if you do come back over here, I'm pretty sure you will sell out a crowd. You will sell out a stadium. And but I would just take a long vacation if I was you, Tory, once you get out. And so yeah, he has some pretty powerful people that's looking into his case. Kim Kardashian, Kim, look into Tory Lanez case. Please do it. You don't got your law license, girl. Look into Tory, you graduated. You're not a lawyer yet. You went to school. You took some law classes. Listen, girl, you're getting she has a program where she's helping release certain prisoners that don't belong in jail or prison, and she's doing a really good thing. I'm very proud of Kim Kardashian. I really feel like she wants to do some good in this life, and releasing prisoners or just people that don't belong in prison. So I'm very proud of you, Kim. I'm gonna leave you with this video, and like, what are your thoughts, guys? Do you believe Tory Lanez or do you believe in Meg? Just drop your comments. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, and I will check you out and talk to you later. Bye.
Just got off the phone with Tory Lanez's father, and I got the pleasure of meeting him in DC a few weeks ago and got to hear a little bit about their story. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I am going to review all the case files and the evidence that was put forth, but I want to know, do you believe that Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion? Do you or do you not? Because I find things to be very interesting that I have begun reviewing, and I really don't know if he did. I also do believe in my heart, after I have reviewed certain things, that there was some corruption to go on in this case, and I just wanted to read a few things off to you that you may not know. I would love for you to challenge my beliefs. I would love for you to tell me your thoughts and who you think shot who and what exactly you think happened. But just to read off to you a few things that you may not know. Megan told police, and I will preface this by saying these are things that have allegedly been said, because Lord knows I don't need Megan Thee Stallion coming after me. But Megan allegedly told police and doctors that she stepped on glass, not that she was shot. Video and officers confirm Megan stepped on a glass bottle, not hit by gunfire. Sean Kelly testified. 2 women fought in the street. One fired first. Tory was still in the car. Kelsey tested positive for gunshot residue. Her DNA was never tested against the gun. Kelsey received free rent for a year after the shooting. Who paid for it and why? EJ said an object in the girl's luggage looked like a gun. Megan claimed she spoke out in response to Tory, but the timeline proves that she went public first. Tory's DNA was not found on the magazine, only 0.01% on the gun. Statistically irrelevant. 0.01% of his DNA was found on the gun. This truly is statistically irrelevant. If you shoot someone, more DNA is on the gun. 90% of the DNA on the gun belonged to an unknown male, not Tory. Tory's jail call, that I believe went viral, was, and the call to where he made an apology, that was about the drama of sleeping with 2 friends, not the incident that occurred. Tory has repeatedly said, I would never do anything like this. No bullet fragments on the x-ray, no nerve damage, fractures, or joint trauma in Megan's medical records. Bullet fragments were lost and never presented at trial. Prosecutors misused Tory's rap lyrics, tattoos, and uncharged allegations to sway the jury. Kelsey's story changed multiple times, and she admitted to lying under pressure. Megan's own timeline and injuries don't match the story of a shooting. So the bottom line is the facts don't add up. The case against Tory Lanez was built on shifting stories, missing evidence, and lies. So I would love to know if you believe this, that this do you believe that this case was built on lies and prosecutorial misconduct? Do you believe that Tory Lanez shot Megan Thee Stallion? That's what I'm wondering. What do we think happened? So I'm going to continue digging into this case more, and I have told Tory Lanez's father that I would head out to California and actually visit him in prison and get to know him a little bit better, hear his story, and hear from his mouth what actually happened. So would love to know your thoughts, opinions, and be respectful. Show up, give your opinions. Excited to read what you think and start putting pieces of the puzzle together.